Howdy, howdy, and welcome back to another Workshop Wednesday. This week, it's a What's New edition. We're actually going to go through all of the updates that came out in January of 2022. We're going to take a look at whatever happened with Google Analytics, Tag Manager, Data Studio, and get you caught up in any of the newest features and updates. Before we go too far into this, my name is Chris Mercer. Everybody calls me Mercer, and I am the co-founder of measurementmarketing.io. Whether you found us through our podcasts and talks, maybe through some of the content that we share with other platforms like CXL Institute or Measure Summit or Social Media Examiner or Digital Marketer, maybe you are already a member over at measurementmarketing.io where you really learn this stuff. However you found us, we are happy that you're here. It's our job to help people just like you learn how to use all these tools. And of course, our flagship product is the Measurement Marketing Academy. We'll talk more about that after the actual content part of today's episode. Remember, one thing is what we're trying to get. I mean, there's going to be a number of changes. There weren't a ton, I don't think, actually in January. But there might be something that you can actually start using, specifically that Google Analytics 4.1. Be on the lookout for that. All right, let's go ahead and get started. What's new? The January 2022 updates. The newest features added to Google Analytics, Tag Manager, and we're also going to take a look at Data Studio. Now we're going to go ahead and dive right in. We always start with the framework. Remember, plan, build, and launch when it comes to your measurement. We are always marketing in the blind, but if you use this system, it will produce reliable revenue and profits. How does it do that? First, in the planning stage, you ask the right questions. We then gather information to get the answers to those questions, and we think about the actions we're going to take based upon the answers we get. Then we move into results, making sure our platform understands what results we're trying to get. It knows where the traffic is coming from using things like UTM codes for Google Analytics. And then we do that in a way that stitches those two things together so they naturally tell a story. That's really where it comes into like using the platforms like Google Analytics. So you might find, in fact, I will, as a little spoiler alert, you're going to find in this workshop that there was some changes to Google Analytics 4, some updates, I should say, that might help you tell a different story, a more useful truth that's coming through in terms of which traffic is causing which results. Now, once you have all of that done, you actually start listening to things, you get your benchmarks, and you start understanding the conversation that's happening between your users and the website. Then we forecast based upon those benchmarks. In other words, our recent past will start to feed what our near future is going to look like. Then we measure against our forecasts and you optimize because you're going to see what's working and what's not very, 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 very clearly. That's the beauty of this. So you know where to focus your effort and energy and resources. So that step is what gets you to the point where you're reliably growing revenue and profits. That is the measurement marketing framework in a nutshell. And that is what, when you're learning these new skills, everything fits into the framework, right? That's the idea. Now we're going to go ahead and bring in our guest instructor, Julie Brady. She's a lead instructor over at measurementmarketing.io. Has been teaching this stuff practically forever in internet years. She is a dedicated account manager for our dedicated measurement management clients and an absolute Data Studio rock star. So she's constantly keeping up on all the latest and greatest changes. And so she's handling the updates for this month and found some pretty interesting ones that she wanted to make you aware of. So with that, take it away, Julie Brady.
Thank you so much for that awesome introduction, Mercer. Let's go ahead and dive right in and see what our updates were for January 2022. So the very first thing we have is Google Analytics 4 updates, and this one is called Cross-Channel Data-Driven Attribution. So lots of different words in there. And so what does all of this fun stuff mean? It's apparently they're going to nickname it DDA. So if you hear that a lot, that's what it's referring to. I'll show you here in just a moment where to find the settings and stuff in Google Analytics 4. But just know that we'll drop a couple different links in the membership site so you guys can refer to what I'm about to show you as well. So the data-driven attribution, so it's very similar to what you probably know about with the last click, first click, but now there's data attribution modeling. So that's kind of the new part. And so you can adjust your settings in there. And one thing to pay attention to, and it's kind of hard to find it. I had to go and dig for this because I saw this when I first read about it, and then I had to go dig in several different links to finally find it again. It was so when you change your attribution settings in Google Analytics 4, it applies to both your historical and your future data. So which can be great, and it also can not be great. So be very careful when you're adjusting it. Kind of think through, plan it, and don't just prove yourself correct, kind of think through the things that could be incorrect. And that's kind of our premise behind when we say TBV, trust but verify. Don't prove that you are correct. Try to prove yourself wrong, and then it'll be a lot easier to see those errors, because you want to make sure that you're not missing something. So that's just be very careful when you're doing that. Then when you're in your Google Analytics 4, you can go to advertising, then model comparison, and you can choose the data driven if you want to. Or let's say we're going to choose data driven here, and this one is under last click. And so depending on what your settings are, we don't have ads or anything like that going on. So for us, it's going to be very, very similar. But if you have ads, and then maybe you have emails that are doing a lot of sales and stuff, you might have very different responses to each one of these. So play around with it, kind of get familiar with it. I'm sure over the weeks and stuff, this is going to be improved upon, and more features are going to be added. So we'll kind of watch, and we will definitely keep you updated as those things happen in each one of your monthly what's new. So if you go down to your admin section here, and one other thing that we thought was super interesting is the way that in the different links that we'll send you, it talks about it's under with per property, and some of the verbiage makes me wonder if it's setting up for future views or something that might be comparable to a view. So maybe I'm just wishful thinking here, but I am very hopeful that they'll bring back views or something like that in GA4. So, but where you'll go is attribution settings, and this is where you can adjust based on what it is that you want to do. Again, you have to be very careful with it. It's not going to break anything, but definitely could impact your dashboards. And so it's not something you would want to just play with just to, if you're using a live client's dashboard, you might want to kind of think through maybe use this on your own, or go into the Google Demo Store and kind of see what they have, or have build a site for yourself and kind of mimic data. Or if you have a client that you don't have a dashboard for, this might be something you could use. But if you have dashboards that are just looking at this data, then probably not. But good news is most of us probably don't have dashboards for GA4, so it's okay for us to play through it. So just be aware. And then the other part of this is your look back window. So that is also part of your attribution settings. So if you adjust this, it's my understanding from the documentation that we have that this will impact historical and future reports too. So if for some reason that you need to keep that, the historical data needs to stay at one number and the future is another. So that's where you have to, again, plan it out, think it through, what's going to be the best option for you, what's going to give you the most useful truth for that. And so just be aware of that, and you can have fun with that. And then obviously you have all these different learn more links. It's basically the ones that we have found too. And that is your update for Google Analytics 4 and all the Google Analytics updates. There is nothing for Google Data Studio, unfortunately, this month. It's the longest time we've gone without an update for Google Data Studio. So hopefully in the month of February 2022, we will have something exciting to report for you, but we will keep you posted in next month's What's New. But now let's jump into Google Tag Manager and the updates for them. So the update that we have for Google Tag Manager is server-side, and I'm going to read this very carefully because this lingo kind of threw us off a little bit too. It says, can now load all client-side scripts via their first-party domain. So when we saw this, we're like, oh, that's really, really cool. But when you go to the link, it's actually Google scripts. So I don't know, and we don't know. We actually talked with some of our experts. We don't know if this is like what the future is going to have. Like eventually it'll be all. And right now we only have Google. So just kind of be aware as of right now, it's only Google, maybe possibly. Hopefully, it might be other scripts as well. But If you are doing server side, this is a great walkthrough for you. And for anyone that's not doing server side, basically what this update is making it a little bit easier to do some things server side. If you want to learn more about server side, for those of you that are Academy members, we do have a server side course. So if you go under your Win courses, and then you choose the Google Tag Manager courses, and so you have all these basic ones, and then come down to Win Google Tag Manager server side. It's taught by our guest instructor, Stockton Fisher, who is absolutely amazing. And those of you that are Academy members, we have the winner circle, and Stockton's back there answering questions, and also with Ask an Instructor. If you want to privately ask questions, we have access to him, so you can make sure all those questions you have are answered. And so we know server side can be a little bit of a sticky thing, and we have no problem admitting that we needed extra help understanding all of this, and Stockton is our go-to for that. So if you're wanting to learn more about server side and want to go through that course, you'll listen to what Mercer says at the very end. He'll guide you through that. And then for those of you that are already Academy members, hit us up at Ask Instructor Support or watch that course, and we'll definitely be there to guide you. But here's another awesome walkthrough with a new Google Tag Manager server-side feature for that. And so I just have to say too that the Tag Manager and server-side team have been excellent with their documentation the past year or so. They have really leveled it up to make it really easy for us to follow through. So if this seems intimidating, just because it's a lot, I promise you it really is just following along and just doing what it tells you to do, and it's good. So that is all we have. It's a really kind of slow month for updates, but hopefully that means that we'll just have more and more bigger updates as the rest of the year progresses. So I'm going to hand it back to Mercer now.
Thank you so much, Julie. Appreciate that. What was your one thing from this workshop? I know for me, it was that data-driven attribution that was coming out with Google Analytics 4. Like that's pretty interesting. I'm definitely going to withhold judgment because it's a little black box for me. But I think it's interesting to bring in to see what's going on with the AI, the machine learning stuff as that constantly evolves specific to that platform, because that hopefully is what's going to make that platform really, really, really useful, is that you do get some sort of realistic, useful attribution that you can use to then improve your own results, right? That's the whole idea of it. So that was kind of my one thing. But obviously you want to pick yours. Maybe it's a new feature, a new update, something you can play with. Build it into a skill, practice it. That is what we are here for. Of course, when we think about the framework, think about the skills and the different features and updates that came out that were interesting to you, where they might fit in. So the stuff that you can actually use to improve it. Now, next week, we're doing a there you go. We're going to do a getting started edition. What is Google Analytics 4 and do you need it now? So it's for the beginners out there. Speaking of Google Analytics 4, so we're going to do kind of a deep dive on what that platform is, how it's different from Universal Analytics. And honestly, you might not need it, spoiler alert, but we're going to talk about that. How do you know if now's the time to start really diving into that particular platform? So if you want to see that workshop, just be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Of course, you can also get it through becoming a Measurement Marketing Toolbox member. It's our free membership and includes the most recent Workshop Wednesday, as well as a ton of different tools, including a Google Analytics audit that we have back there, if that's of interest to you. All you need to do is go to measure.tips/WW, and you will be able to just put in your name and email. It'll send you login information and you have access to the tools. The only thing we ask is that you use it. That is why we are here, to help build the community. And this is one of the ways that we do that. Now, of course, we do have the Measurement Marketing Academy. I talked about that earlier before we started this whole thing. The Academy itself, we built this specifically to get you through this over and over and over again, help support you through the framework, because you should go through this hundreds and thousands of times. We certainly have, and we will go through it thousands more. I mean, it's just every time we go through it, we get better and better and better and better and better. You build momentum, Things get a whole lot easier. You don't freak out when things change, which they inevitably will over and over again. This is why we built this platform. So I wanted to give you kind of a quick tour so you can see exactly what the Academy is. So when you come into the Academy, so let me go back here to the dashboard, you have these 6 blocks that are here. Now you have those 6 blocks, then you've got win courses as part of those blocks, right? The win courses. We have the on-demand workshops, which is this section here. We've got the resources, that's the toolbox. So we kind of did a little sneak peek of ahead of time. That's the content. So going through those win courses section. So the way that the win courses work out is they're organized by date because we have members that, maybe come in every couple of months. They check out the most recent win courses, see if there's something when to get caught up or if there was an update. We update these or create a new one every 4 to 6 weeks on average. So they're pretty, they tend to stay up to date. That's kind of, we built that into the system. They're all organized by topic. So we have analytics. So you can go there, including Analytics 4. You've got Google Tag Manager, including things like server side, dashboards and reporting with Data Studio and just different ways of thinking about reporting, including traffic attribution, which is a bigger one. Measurement strategy. So how to think about measurement. That is such a secret sauce. People miss that. But understanding, especially the measurement marketing framework. So go through this win. If you are a new Academy member, this is the first one I'd recommend to go through. Puts everything into context. But you've got them all back here. These are all the traditional courses that hopefully you are familiar with in terms of regular courses. Then you've got the on-demand workshops. Well, that's here. So we always had the most recent workshop Wednesday, whatever that is. Then you've got the edited versions that are down here, what we call the student editions for the members. So you can come through here. They are edited down. Obviously, stuff like this is taken out of them, little zoom effects, a little easier to get through. And so that way you don't have to watch the workshop Wednesdays all the time. You can watch them on demand whenever you want. That's an Academy member benefit. Then we've got the toolbox. The toolbox itself, all of the tools that actually we do give out for free as part of our toolbox membership. But the Academy members, well, you get it done guides. So it's a whole other section that's opened up, kind of like little craft kits. Like once you learn Tag Manager and Google Analytics and how to think about stuff, it's like, well, it's cool. Let's create this. Let's do this Eyes on the Journey report. Let's do this other report. So as we get more of those done, we put them in here exclusive to Academy members. Then you have the actual support. There's 2 of them, Winner Circle and of course the famous Ask an Instructor support. Winner Circle is all about the community. So it's members helping members. You can see back here the most recent stuff on Facebook Cappy going on, some pretty timely conversations on different breaking things. There's a little job board, people to get help with stuff or to offer their services. So you have all sorts of stuff that's back here with that. Ask an Instructor support is a whole other animal though. It's way beyond I lost my password kind of support. And you basically put in your question, you put in your description. Love screenshots and videos, by the way, so please send those over. That goes directly to instructors, real people who watch those videos. Then they actually send you videos back. Like 9 times out of 10 at least. And they'll send you a video back sort of describing, hey, make sure you check this button or, here's something to take a look at. And it doesn't matter as long as it's measurement related, that's what they're here to help you with. So if you have a strategy style question, like how to think about something, because maybe you're the more strategist role, send that over. Like, I'm not even sure what a goal should be. Here's my customer journey. Here's what my website look like. Where should I start? Right? Do that. For Academy members, when you're brand new, ask them to help you build a curriculum. Like, here's my skills. Here's the tools I'm using. Here's my tech. Like, okay, what do I do? They'll create a curriculum for you. Like, that's what they're there for. And they're also there to help you out with the technical stuff. Things like, okay, I'm trying to get this goal set up, but I can't get Tag Manager to fire the trigger properly. And here's what my setup looks like. And here's how I'm trying to preview it. And I'm not sure what's going on. And you get this fresh pair of eyes, this person who gets you. They understand you. They send you back an answer that helps you with the tool. They might say, oh, I just checked this little box and it takes care of it. But imagine being able to virtually call somebody over to your workstation and say, hey, can you look at this and give me your opinion? Or what am I doing wrong here? And they can help you because they understand not only the measurement, but they understand the marketing. They get you. They know why you're trying to do it. So they can help you keep from measuring for measuring's sake. They can help you get from getting sucked up into too much big data, not enough action. They can help with this stuff. And that is why it is here. So it's obviously what the vast majority of our members are using is this particular support because it is kind of a little more focused attention from the instructors on you. But again, Winner Circle is great because you've got peer support as well. So sometimes we're not the experts. We get asked questions around technical SEO. We refer those to other members because we're not a technical SEO firm, but some of our members are, the agencies that are. So members help members, and this is where the instructors help you on a more personal basis. So personalized basis, I should say. And then of course you've got regular manage account for sort of upgrades, downgrades, changing emails, all that fun stuff. So that is the Measurement Marketing Academy in a nutshell. Now remember, courses, the Ask Instructor support, the on-demand workshop library, and Winner Circle community. The courses, you get access to everything. Nothing's limited. You get access to all the lessons, all the topics, all the courses whenever you want, watch them as much as you want, 24/7 access, including any updates that come out, any new courses. And again, every 4 to 6 weeks on average, there's either an update or it's a new course. So we have those. The Ask Instructor support, again, unlimited availability to that. You can ask that as much as you want throughout the entire time that you're an Academy member. The on-demand workshop library, that is something, again, that is peer-to-peer support. But, the on-demand workshop library, I misspoke here. That is there's over 200 and almost 300 different workshops that are back there now, completely searchable. So with various topics. And that's also where we put, like, if something radically different changes or there's sort of a trendy topic that's coming up, we'll make a workshop about it. So it's back there for you, searchable and on demand. And of course, Winner Circle community, that is the peer support. So having access to all that is priceless. Having somebody that is understands measurement marketing because they're learning the same things you are, but they have this special skills in other areas, right? Like maybe technical SEO or Facebook ads or whatever the thing is that you're trying to get help with. It's back there, all part of the Academy, and everybody's helping everybody get through that framework. We all understand it. Well over $15,000 in training and support if you had to buy this stuff separate. Guaranteed over $15,000 in training and support. You have to buy this thing separate. So that's because we used to sell them separately, and that's what it would be. Actually, be substantially more than that now. So we've packaged it all. It's all in the Measurement Marketing Academy. It's a just-in-time learning platform. It is not there for you to watch every single course and every single workshop because I promise we create content faster than you can watch it. That's by design so that when you need it, answers are there, either 24/7 on your own terms whenever you need it or with the Ask Instructor support. It's an incredible platform. We invite you to be a member of the Measurement Marketing Academy today. To find out more about what the current offers are, just go to measure.tips/getacademy. It'll take you right to where you need to go to learn all about the Measurement Marketing Academy, and we look forward to seeing you there soon. With that, we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. This has been What's New? The January 2022 updates, the newest features added to Analytics Tag Manager Data Studio. Thanks again for watching this workshop, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.